with whatever plan that you've got, whatever idea that you've got that's going to be world-changing, whether it's going to be cryptocurrency, whether it's permaculture, whatever it is, if you haven't factored into your plan the reality that this world is run by a criminal cacostocracy who are going to attempt to subvert and control everything you do, then it's going to fail right from the beginning. That's the problem. And you know, with the cryptocurrency, I mean, it's all really good. We're at a real crossroads here where we've got all the tools we need to lead us to safety, but we need to factor in who's in control of things at the moment. And the world is run by criminals. It's simple as that. That's who's creating all this legislation. You know how you create crime? You create legislation. Every time you create a new law, you create a new crime. You know, this is how you suddenly need a police state, because they bring in all these laws, all these different things. Suddenly it's illegal to walk your dog on the beach. It's illegal to do this. It's illegal to go to the park on a Sunday and do all these normal things that you do. And then the government comes out the next year and goes, oh my God, look at the crime figures. We need more police. We need more laws. More laws, more crime, more police. That's the way it goes. That's how you get a police state. And the whole thing's a scam. You know, all the world's a stage. It really is. Now, I travel a lot. I've been to a lot of countries and seen a lot of people. And I'm seeing this whole Internet of Things and this smart grid and this whole crypto revolution take off all around the world in every country. But I think there's a darker side to it. There really is. You know, a lot of these countries, you know, they're not really enemies with each other. It's all theatre. It's all theatre for the masses. You know, it's constructed. You know, we need government to protect us. That's all we need government for. To protect us from who? Other governments. That's it. You know, when we go to war with another country, it isn't two countries going to war. Going to war with Iran, what everybody in Iran wants to go to war with the people in America, and everyone in America wants to go to war with Iran. No, it's the two governments facing off against each other. Who's going to play the enemy this week? You know, and you look at this this whole cryptocurrency thing, where it's going for financial freedom and all the stuff that it's bringing people. That's all very well, and it's all very good to have that to get us to this state of abundance. But again, you've got to understand that the world is run by criminals. We have this cacostocracy which is running things. And thank you, Cynthia, for teaching this word at schools and universities now. If people don't understand what a cacostocracy is defined as governance by the worst elements of society who govern entirely in their own interests to the permanent detriment of all other classes. And that's what we have. It was taken out of the dictionary about 100 years ago. You can still find it in some books. You know, we look at all this cryptocurrency stuff. Yeah, it's leading us to safety, but there's so many people who cannot see that there may be another option. There may be other people who are looking at this who wish to co-opt it, convert it, and lead it into the direction that they want. You know, years ago, Cynthia revealed what's going on with AIPAC, how every politician who even receives funding in the United States is required to sign the AIPAC treaty, even to get funding, even to get anywhere. So basically, you've got to pledge allegiance to a foreign power in order to get to a political position in the United States. Can anyone see a conflict of interest there? And not only that, the foreign power that you're pledging allegiance to is carrying out blatant war crimes, breaches of Article 33 of the Fourth Geneva Convention. Whether you believe in the Jewish cause or the Palestinian cause or the Israeli cause or Muslims, it doesn't matter. If you believe law exists at all, that we need any law governing us and that we are controlled by a paper-based reality that these politicians write on paper. Well, here's a piece of paper that says they're all war criminals, so what makes any of their legislation valid to begin with? You know, the cryptos are going to come along and they're going to lead us to safety, and I don't actually have to do anything. But again, you've got to look at how this can be played. You've got these psychopaths that are running things, and they want control, and they will fully allow you to build the system that they wish to covert and co-opt and control. And that's what they're doing with the Internet of Things. You know, the Internet of Things, you know, with everything being digital and every transaction being digital and everything we do being digital, this is great in theory, and it's great if we've got a free world that is run by intelligent, free people who actually care about you, and we don't have that. You know, if we don't deal with that first and we allow this smart grid to come online without us first regaining control of this government system, but what they're doing with this Internet of Things and this smart grid, once it all becomes digital. Have you heard about the social crediting system in China that's just come online in China? There's 7.9 billion or 7.9 million people at the moment that are blacklisted on China's social crediting system. What they've done, there was a journalist, his name was Louis Liu, I think, or Louis Sun, Louis Su, something like that, I don't know. But he was a journalist. He spoke out about government corruption, published an article He got fined for it. They said he was fabricating propaganda against the government, as the Chinese government does. He was ordered to make either a public apology or pay a fine. He opted to pay the fine, which was $190. As soon as he said, yes, that's my option, they put that up to $2,900. So he paid that and then thought everything's good, I'm in the clear. He didn't make the public apology. Then a couple of weeks later, he went to buy an airline ticket and he was told by the airline company that he was not qualified for that airline ticket. He went to ride on high-tier trains and he was told he was not qualified to buy tickets on high-tier trains. So that's how they do it with the social crediting system. You know, when it gets to the system where everything is digital, where you're paying as you go for every action you perform, where you can walk into a supermarket, you can pick up what you want, you can just walk out, everything's great, 5G, wow, everything's fast. If you are blacklisted because of your political views and there's certain items in that supermarket you're simply not qualified to buy, and you cannot buy a plane ticket because you're simply not qualified for that plane ticket because the algorithm that runs the system has looked at what your comments are and looked at your profile and said this person needs a black mark against their name and needs to be restricted from certain services, then it doesn't matter how much cryptocurrency you've got in the bank, because what they do is they limit your purchasing power by your person itself. And when that person gets identified by biometric scanning or by bioacoustic resonance or even by your DNA, it doesn't matter how much crypto you've got. You really think these countries are enemies, folks? Theatre for the masses. It's all theatre for the masses. You seriously think the United States is going to go to war with North Korea? Give me a break. Has anyone heard of China's One Belt, One Road initiative? One Belt, One Road is a revamping of the New Silk Road that's going to come online with China at the helm. That's what's going to be running the new trade, and I suggest that it's probably going to be run by crypto. It wouldn't surprise me if they're going to try to adopt crypto to that. There's also a new cryptocurrency. Have you heard about Lunar Coin? Anyone heard about Lunar Coin? It's a new cryptocurrency that is saying it will give you crypto coins for your DNA. What are they doing with this? Where are they going with all of this, folks? You've got to really look at where we can go and where we're being led with all this. You know, the cryptocurrencies are really good and they can do really good things, and we can free ourselves with this technology and all the stuff that's coming online. But if we do not factor in to everything we do and every move we make, the reality, this world is run by criminals. You know, and when we in our need for anarchy, let's look for real anarchy from within the self. Let's not allow ourselves to be led into an AI grid, which is going to dictate what is good and what is bad. You know, sure, we want a society where no harm is done to people. But in a society where me not calling you by some pronoun that you've made up constitutes harm, what's that going to be? If the AI suddenly dictates that I need to be penalised because I'm causing harm to someone by not calling them whatever it is they want me to call them, then, you know, where are we going with all this? You've got to look at what political correctness is doing as well, because political correctness is being programmed into this. This whole need to be tolerant. Tolerance is great, but it's not even really tolerance, is it? Me basically respecting you, how is that me tolerating you? That's not really tolerance. That's not even really the meaning of the word tolerance. It's basic respect. I don't have to tolerate you being different to me. It's natural that you're different to me. It's natural that everybody's different to everybody. It's not something I need to tolerate. We've got to start calling this, folk. We need to factor this in, because we're in a real crossroads here. This cryptocurrency could be really good. You know, but we can't forget the past. We can't forget past mistakes, and we can't forget the past that we've got. You know, all nature, everything progresses according to Fibonacci sequence, folks. Go and look at any plant, anything that grows. It's all spirals, ratios, Fibonacci sequence. How Fibonacci sequence works, it's a number sequence. For those who don't understand, it's you take the number that you're on, you combine it with the previous number, combine it together to create the next number. So it goes like 1, 3, 5, 8, 13. That's the way it goes. And what the trick is with that, in order to create the future, you combine the present with the past. Now, we've got all this technology here, but we're leaving the past knowledge behind. We're just discarding and thinking it's all voodoo, it's all jungle medicines, it's all stuff we don't need. But that is where our humanity lies, in the past, what we've done. You know, we're losing all these old ways that we need. As I said to someone the other day, you know, if you were pulled over by the police and you were arrested, taken back to a holding cell, and you were given your one phone call, how many people here would actually know a number to call? Do you remember any numbers anymore, folks? Or do you just get your smartphone to dial them for you? How many people here can still write properly and can still draw the way they used to? How many people can go and dig a garden the way they used to do? We need to remember these old skills, folks. We need to remember the past we've got. We need to honour it, and we need to marry it with this technology of the future. And we've got a real opportunity here to lead ourselves to freedom. But do not allow hubris to dictate your actions. Do not think that simply by investing in cryptos and getting involved in this whole crypto thing and allowing it all to become digital, all run by AI, you're moving yourself to freedom, because you're not. You're moving yourself to a new type of slavery simply because of the people who are currently in charge of the system that we are creating. And they're allowing us to build it, you know, because people aren't really looking at the other options, and they're not looking at who's in control of things now.